Today, we're gonna be ceramic coating the inside of this Infiniti QX50. Let's show you how it's done. Something that we did off camera was we did a full interior prep on it, so all these surfaces are clean. We're gonna be installing Expel Fusion Plus upholstery ceramic coating on all the textiles and touch points on this vehicle. That's gonna include the steering wheel, the dash. Once I get out of the car, I'll put it on the seat as well, just so you get an idea of how this gets applied and what we do. Simply, we have our ceramic coating. It is all hand applied, so you're not going to have to worry about us spraying any kind of chemicals inside your vehicle, something we would never do. So we simply apply, and we're gonna let this evenly saturate into the upholstery. You know, this is leather, so it's just gonna take a little bit. And the main reason we want to ceramic coat something like this is to ultimately just two reasons. One, make it easier to clean as you're using it in your everyday life. But number two is to provide that additional layer of UV protection, because we can all tell when an interior is, you know, just worn out, tired, you know, it's been through its paces. But interior ceramic coatings can make a huge difference in that. After we let that sit, I'm gonna go ahead and ceramic the top of this as well. So we'll start on just this half of the dash, so you get an up close idea of what that really looks like. This is really important for cars, especially that have black leather dashes, because in due time, it will turn gray. And I'm making sure to go even over what I applied to make sure it's evenly distributed across the surface. So that way there's no difference in sheen, but also making sure I get full coverage. As you can see, what I applied on the steering wheel is still soaking in, not a problem. We're gonna come back in a minute or two and level this all down. Now that we've given it about, you know, a minute to sit and do its thing, we don't wanna let it sit until it fully dries. We wanna make sure that it has enough time to dwell on the surface, bond with the material, and then just level off any excess. The most important thing is, you know, it's gonna vary application style, product to product, but we do wanna make sure that it's returned to its original state. Ceramic coatings don't change the sheen, they don't change the feel. They are virtually invisible layers that are bonded to the, you know, applied surface. So you wanna make sure you get every nook and cranny that this was applied to. And as you can see, it's slowly returning back to its satin matte finish. We're gonna go ahead, get to the dash. And softer leathers, finer nappas, things like that. Now guys, I'm not applying with any pressure. It's simply the weight of my hand. And I'm just trying to evenly spread this out to get a uniform finish. That's the name of the game when it comes to upholstery ceramic coatings. Achieving a uniform finish. So now we're gonna apply the ceramic coating to the seat. It has also been cleaned, and you're probably noticing that it's got a mix of both, you know, solid leather, but also perforated leather. And this is the main reason why I like to apply it on an applicator and hand apply it. So I'm not just soaking into this, you know, perforated leather and having the material soak deep down in. We're simply just going to work it in. And once again, we're gonna, just like all the other surfaces, we're gonna let it dwell, let it soak in and work with the material and bond. Ensure we get full coverage. Here, I'll even do the upper. You know, I like to always start with the solid leather, just is easier. And then we work our way to the perforated. This way we're also not wasting product. You know, it's not about how much product, it's about using the product properly in the way it's intended to be. Get the headrest in there to make sure we don't miss any parts. Now we're just gonna allow it to dwell, do its thing. I'm gonna make sure I get all bits of the seat. just coming back around, spreading it all out, making sure it's all uniform. And now that we've given it about, a couple minutes to sit and soak in, we're just gonna come back and level off any excess. Once again, not using any pressure besides the weight of my hand, because I'm not trying to sand into it and dig into the material. Simply want to remove any excess from it. And once this is done, now guys, immediately, it may not look like it's going back to the matte finish. You just need to give it some time. It takes a little bit. Voila! Another great application for interior ceramic is the plastics. Now, if this is a new vehicle, I always recommend spot checking first. Some chemicals react differently with certain makes and models. We've ceramic coated many QX50s, so I'm confident that I know what this is going to look like when I apply it, level it off, that kind of thing. But the main reason you want to do it to a plastic is mainly to protect against fading, but also staining, because if you can take a look, we're right by the cup holders. So you're gonna have coffee stains, water, whatever you drink, it's inherently going to spill on this area. So we're simply going to apply it just like we did the rest of the vehicle. I'm gonna get the gear knob too, so we got that in there. Go ahead and get the cup holder in there too. And if you take a look, it's actually more readily soaking right into the plastics. Whoops. After we let it sit for a few minutes, and we're gonna come back once again. As you can see, some areas like here and here have already kind of saturated in, where other areas it's kind of already just sitting there. Not a problem. We're just gonna come back and we're gonna make it a uniform finish. It's very important that we work in small sections, because at the end of the day, if you forget to level something off, especially on the interior, it can be very problematic to get it off in the future. Some plastics don't react well with ceramic coatings long-term if they're not leveled off. Some of them require harsh chemicals that could ultimately affect its performance. And now we're gonna come in here for a nice uniform finish. Ceramic coating an interior definitely takes time, but it's well worth it.